guys, today's video is about how to create an organizing system that works for you. So let me start off by saying I am not by any means an organizational expert. I don't do this for a living, I've never studied it, but I'm kind of a dork and like learning how different people have different kinds of organizing. First is to read and learn and watch how other people do it. You don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. You know, there are plenty of blogs, YouTube videos, Pinterest, TV shows like on HGTV. There's articles you can read about how different people organize certain systems in their house. Secondly is to really find a system that works for you and your family and that fits your needs on a daily basis. So, you know, just because some organizing guru organizes something a certain way, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it that way. You can take parts of different kinds of systems and combine them to create a system that works for you. But the best professional organizers out there are the ones that know that the system really has to fit the person. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. You're not going to want to do it. It's going to become a tedious thing. It really has to fit what suits you and your lifestyle. You know your major limitations. For example, if you have a filing system and the filing system, part of the filing system is close to the ground and you hate bending over to file stuff, or you hate sitting on the floor or getting on your knees to file certain items. So, you know, you can get a file system that is a tabletop system instead. To understand that organizing systems are a constantly evolving process and it has to change according to whatever changes in your life. So, you know, if you get a different kind of car, even if you have a baby, if you move, any kinds of life changes, big or small, can potentially affect your organizing system. Remember that you can repurpose items or buy organizational items at thrift stores or dollar stores. You know, it's also cheaper that way. It's environmentally friendly. Instead of crates, you could use cardboard boxes. So, for example, those tiered shelves that you could put in your cabinet where you have canned goods and you could see the canned goods, I find a lot of those shelves at thrift stores. And usually they're made of plastic, so you can very easily disinfect it, you know, very easily clean it. And, you know, the Dollar Tree has a bunch of stuff too. You practice the system before putting more concrete items in place. If you use a label maker, you know that sometimes those labels are not cheap. So, you know, if you practice the system first, you know, you could use Post-it notes, sticky notes, and put those as your labels temporarily. And then once you know the system works, then you could put the final printed label on the folder or on the bin or whatever. That way, if you had to change something, then you won't have wasted those expensive labels. You just use the Post-its. Well, if you have a system that is going to need a lot of plastic crates, then maybe you want to use cardboard boxes instead at first. And as you practice the system for a while, maybe a few weeks, and realize that, yes, this does work for you, then you can replace those cardboard boxes with the plastic ones. You know, versus if you didn't practice it before and you find that, oh, the system really doesn't work for me, and you just bought all this stuff that you might not necessarily need or want. Another advantage too of practicing the system before you put the concrete items in place is that it gives you time to really look around, to maybe find items that fit your overall decor. You know, if you like, for example, bins that are all white, then you can start to look for that kind of thing. And it can take some time, especially if, you know, you want to buy those items on sale, or if you want to buy them at a thrift store or at the Dollar Tree store. It can take some time to collect those items. Also too, even though you are constantly evaluating your organizational system and making sure that it works for you and tweaking things here and there, also it's not a bad idea to pick a day of the week or a day of the month that you know you're going to really do an evaluation of the system. So for example, I'm in the midst of trying to create a filing system that works for us, where we don't have too much stuff, but we still keep the stuff that we will absolutely need. For example, I do that on the first of the month. And, you know, I ask myself, do I really need these certain categories? Do I need to perhaps make a new category, or is this one file folder getting too big? Do I actually need to split that up into 2 or 3 categories? That kind of a thing. And lastly, again, understand that organizing is a ever-changing, fluid, dynamic process, and it's okay. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect system all the time. It should be something that isn't tedious, something that fits your needs in a way that makes your household seem calmer, in a way that clears up your mind, and doesn't cause you a lot of stress. And those are my tips so far. If I think of any more, I'll include them in the description of the video down below. I would love to hear what tips you have as far as creating an organizational system. Not necessarily the specific stuff, although you're welcome to comment on that too, but just in the advice that you would give to somebody beginning that process. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And I just noticed somebody did a little video bombing, right? Right, Dougie? High five, video bomb. High five. Dougie. Oh. It's bedtime. Bye, guys.